Hey everybody, welcome to Uzo Make Money in Africa. So today we're going to be talking about something about why it's good that BRICS right now is taking over and the US dollar is collapsing into flames. Now, obviously that hurts people in the short term. It's hurting Africa in specific. You know why? Because much of the currency that's being used around the world and in Africa, let's say, stick it there, is in US dollar reserves, is in US dollar value. So as the United States, as every empire does right before its collapse, starts to inflate and inflate and inflate and inflate and just start spending up the yazoo. See, a regular person, we just don't have money, so our spending would go down. But then we would go into more debt because we borrow. That's what happens to a regular person, right? So you start borrowing. That's the equivalent to what the United States is doing. So it borrows against itself, but the inflation, most of it goes out to the rest of the world that holds the US dollar. And for a time being, people were okay with that, or forced onto in the case of Africa. Now let's look at this. Now it's saying, unfortunately, they're giving you something like this, saying the US dollar defends its role as global currency. Long story short, this is back in 2023, 2022, and then the last quarter of 2023, so not the full year. So what it's trying to do is manipulate the numbers, but I'm just going to shortcut you some things here. China just dumped $50 billion plus of US dollar bonds. That's a record number that is done. Everything happens slowly and then all at once. I'm going to show you on the screen here that the cross-border trade payments between the Chinese renminbi, yuan, and the US dollar from 2012-ish all the way up to 2024, which is really 2023, is now, it was at 0.3%. So China was barely using its own currency, much like the rest of African nations. And in only about just 11 years, it is now over 50%. Now imagine that, because the acceleration is going to happen even faster. So it's not going to take another 11 years for it to operate basically at 80% or even 100%. It's going to be more like 5. It could be even 3 or 2, because they just dropped. This does not include what they just did in May, which was $50 billion plus dollars. Then you got Belgium dropping $20 billion plus dollars. Now, how do you make money on that? And I am glad that you asked that question. Let's put this on the screen very quickly as I switch the screen in the background, and we're going to show you how you can make money on this collapse of the US dollar, even though the inflation in the short term will go up. Now here, we're going to use this chart once again. I'm a chart guy now. And let's say that this is you. You're a black square. You're in the middle. And we're going to fill you with blue, because it's a blue ocean of value that is just waiting to be unleashed. Remember, it says in the Bible, be fruitful inside and multiply, which is an action do. So you have to do the work. The potential is inside of you. That's why this is blue, a blue ocean of value. Now, let's put the United States right here as orange over there. We got the rest of North America right here. We got South America down here. We have Africa. We're going to put that in purple as well right here. Then we got the European Union. That's another purple there. And then we got China and the rest of Asia, including Oceania, in red. Okay. There we go. Now, let's look here. We're going to fill it up. It's relatively small amount of money in Africa, even though the natural resources are off the yazoo. A little bit more money in South America. You got a fair amount of money in the rest of North America, minus the US. There's a bucket load. The biggest wealth locked up on the planet is in the US, although the biggest GDP and purchasing power is in China. So, and then European Union has a pretty good amount of money there. And then we're going to look at it right here with China being the biggest economy in the world, and the rest of Asia definitely. China being the biggest economy, biggest purchasing power, but they manipulate things to make it seem like China has not yet surpassed the US. Some statistics show that it's 30% or more larger than the US. And that was just a few years ago. Now, let's look at it this way. We're going to put in the white inflation. So China just sold off 50 billion let's undo that. 50 billion US dollar bonds. Now you see it's going through you. So you could most likely make some money off of that. See, that's making money off the news. Okay, that's making money off the news, because you may not be one of the people that are in the back room or whatever, seeing that you can make money off of it, but or participating in forex. But you can make money off of that in different ways. That could be news, that could be alerting people, that could be a newsletter with forex or something like that. There's money to be made. So you're making money from that news happening. Belgium and others are doing the same thing. There is some news coming out of Africa because that's where you are, if you're listening to this, most likely. Then this is South America. Again, they're selling off. It happens slowly and then all at once. All of what they're doing, they're selling off, selling off, selling off, selling off, selling off. Okay, now the inflation is going up. You're feeling it. Everybody else is feeling it. I'm going to leave that one line there. So let's pretend all of the other lines are there. What's happening is, and the same thing happening to the yen. So that's happening within it. They're sending it there to the yen. They're selling off euro bonds. All of this stuff is happening. So many are sold off. I'm going to leave those lines there. Now, while that's happening, what's happening? A wealth bomb is being dropped. There are rich people that are like, yeah, let me park my money somewhere else. Some of that's going to get down into Africa. Some of that's going to get over into Asia. Some of that's going to go up into Europe, but most likely it's not. It's going to be a small amount. So what's going to really happen is Europe is going to net go. Hold on. Europe is going to net go down and go into Africa and Asia and some into South America, right? And some is going to go into, just like the US is going to send it there, into Mexico. Not necessarily Canada, but Mexico. So think about all of the billionaires, all of the millionaires, all of the 100 millionaires, tens of millionaires. Deca millionaires is 10. So think of all of the wealthy, some of the people that are trying to make it there. There are hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're six-figure earners. Okay? They're trying to figure out ways to increase their wealth. But all of these roads point to you. See, no matter what, they're pointing to you. So let's take all of this off the screen. No matter what's happening, all of the lines are going through you. Do you notice that? Here's another line going down there, another line going there, even through Africa, because they're trying to do trade, cross-border trade with China, and some with Europe, because Africa's like, yeah, we don't have to be forced by you. We can make a better deal for ourselves. So now you're going to pay us more. So more money is going to come into Africa, even though there are some, sellouts or whatever making it harder. There's going to be more money into Africa. So what specifically will you do to make some money? Well, here's one. Number one, there are different types of crops, and we talked about that on the previous one, like avocado that you can do. Now, you may not have to grow avocado, but you find somebody that is, and you make cosmetics out of it. People like to wear makeup. See, there's the wig industry with people with more money. They're going to go up with that. But in the short term, it's going to go down. So you got to think about where you are in the market. You got to find out the market patterns. See, like this parabola. See, some people think that the charts only have to do with trading. But no, there are different market patterns. While they're not the same, they surely do seem like they repeat. These are different years in the past. This could have been 1800s, 1900s, or anything like that, right? Whereas the green one is the present. We could be right here, okay? Right before another increase happens. And that's where I believe we are. We are somewhere either right here, or we are somewhere about to go in the trajectory up. And I believe that we are in the trajectory up. So let's do this again. I believe that we are in the trajectory up. So we're either right here or we're right here. If we're right here, this is going to be a good ride up. If we're right here, this is going to be a massive ride up. And either way, you can make money off of a massive ride up and down. So what you can do is you can join our Discord. It's $30 per month. It's called the Bank of Trade and Value. It's in the description below. And my job there is to make sure at the bare minimum, the people are able to earn at least $30 per month to be able to pay for that, so that it's giving you more value than anybody could watch on Netflix, that anybody can do any other time. Because if you're able to earn $30 per month and consistently and able to pay that, that means the fact that you are able to get that evidence means all you got to do is a tweak or two. And now you're 60. Now you're 100. Now you're 1,000. Now you're 20,000. Now you're $50,000 per month. You get what I'm saying? That's what we're doing and showing you there. But in order for you to get that value, You have to be that blue ocean of potential waiting to capture this. Here's the box. You're waiting to capture it. You saw the video on cosmetics and you said, that's a good idea, but I don't have any money. You know how many things you could do with very little money and almost no money? Like no money to very little money. See, so many people try to gamble on the trading and then they wind up getting their asses handed to them. But you don't have to do that. This is you right here. All of this money is coming to you right there. All of this potential, all of them are going through you. The US is going to have a massive amount of money going there. There's going to be a massive amount of money. There is a massive amount of money there. Remember, on the last video, I even showed you how you could even potentially profit off of people being corrupt without being corrupt yourself. Remember, that's what I showed you on the previous one. Let's get all these zigzags off of the screen so it's a little bit easier to see. All of the roads go through you. At the end of the day, everybody has to go through you. If you have a platform and value, why don't you, here's a solution here for people that didn't fall asleep yet. And if they did, that's their problem, not ours. Why don't you make here, let's say that this is Telegram, because I'm on Telegram and it's blue. You may not have never heard of it. Look it up. Here's Telegram. How come you can't make a Telegram group? Here it is. Let's make this red for China in Mandarin. We have translation programs online. You could make a Telegram group. Let's say that you wanted to do in crypto. How come you can't run a Chinese-led Telegram group that has a bunch of Chinese people looking to park their money into NFTs, into cryptocurrencies, and run that in Chinese? How come you can't use X? So here's X as the platform right here. How come you can't use that in China before it gets banned? How come you can't use the translation apps to find out how to communicate on the Chinese apps? See, it's not even that you got to learn the languages anymore. They're so good that you are able to incorporate that through an API for the people with laptops. But if you're on your phone, still, that's no excuse. Yeah, you don't have that much data and all of these things are there and whatever. Hey, look, you can keep on whining and complaining about things, about what you don't have, or you can do with what you do have. If you're on this video, you're able to listen to it, you got enough at least. If you're able, because some people download the videos because it saves on that data. If you're able to do that, you're able to do what I just said. Telegram don't take much more data than this video. This video is going to take way more data than Telegram. Then you're using those translation apps. Then you're doing that. Oh, here's another idea right there. And if you like this, again, like, comment, subscribe, and comment, and share this with other people. I'm trying to build an army 100,000 strong in Africa, where you could spend between 1,000 and 10,000 US dollar value at the current moment before inflation goes up in money per month. That's between 1.2 and $12 billion of buying power. Let me make sure I get my let me make sure I get my math right and take out my calculator while we're on here, because somewhere in here I'm thinking I did the wrong math. But anyway, while I'm doing that in the background, you guys, how come you don't make a translation app for another platform? Huh? How come you don't do that for another one? Yeah, that's what I thought. 1.2 to 12 billion per year. All right, that's what we want for buying power. Because if we got that here, if I can get that, and you guys are on a newsletter, you guys are in a Discord group, you guys are here, when we say, hey, let's make a move, that's 12 billion in power. 12 billion. Imagine a $12 billion shotgun of economic power. We can make some moves. Everybody says, hey, corruption is there. Guess what? You spend some of your money to invest in the community, you get even more in return. That's how seeds work. Imagine it. I'm investing some time with you guys. You guys invest now more in return with me in the terms of here's $30 per month. I'm going to join him. Now, I gave you some value. You give me a little bit of the value I gave back, right? I give you value here. This is worth $10,000 and $20,000, right? The value that I'm giving you here is worth an untold amount. But if I had to put something in the immediate, this is like a $10,000 to $20,000, $30,000 per month value that's being dropped here. And in the group, it's even more. So I get some of that value back after I've invested that time with you. Now, here's the time you can invest here. Now, let's say you're now, oops, wrong color, is Telegram again, or Discord, or Facebook, or YouTube, whatever it is. Remember, this is North America in the purple right here. So that's Mexico and Canada. How come for Mexico, and South America, you can do the same thing for South America. Many of them speak Spanish. How come you can't have a Spanish-led Telegram group doing the same thing that I just said for China? How come you can't run an X? You got a bunch of immigrants going all over the place into the U.S. You can't run a Spanish-led program on how they can make money so that they can sustain themselves in a foreign land. You can't do that for all those people that are in South Africa that are doing the same thing. You can't figure out how to then profit off of people. Yeah, other people may not be liking it. Here, you're just the person. Think of yourself. You're like the middleman. Let's not use red. Let's use green. Money green. Or in the case of China, actually green is red. It's good. I mean, red is good and green is bad. So for the few Chinese that are looking at this, you guys get it. But anyway, so why don't you do that? You're like the middle person here. So that's what I have for today. If you guys like that, yes, it is on the screen. If you guys like that value, go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe, and comment. Share this with other people. We need to build up this army. And if you find that valuable, join our Discord group. $30 per month. That's all it is. And if that's a lot of money for you to think about right now, change your perspective a little bit and say, this is only $30 per month on the rest of my life for my future. What's $30 for the education? What's $30 that I can spend here? Yeah, if it takes me 1 year of spending $30 per month and me figuring it out, and then in the future, I'm making $5,000, I'm making $10,000 per month, I'm making higher than that per month. That purchase right there, $30 per month. What is that? Actually, let me do the math there. I think it's three. Oh, I did the math wrong. $30 per month, guys. What's 30? I'm doing this live. I'm not gonna edit this out. I don't edit these things. Yeah, that's why I thought 360. Why did my mind just go blank? So yeah, that's $360 a year. That's all it is. $360. If you had to pay $360 per year so that you can then make between $60,000, $120,000 in that same year or the next year. Let's say you make $20,000 off of that. That's not bad, right? 360 under 500 to make 20,000 US dollars. It's not bad. So I want you guys to join us there. And remember, you get more value out of that. If you're hearing a beating sound, that's my rabbit chewing on the box. But if you want to get more value out of it, join us and ask questions. If you say absolutely nothing, that's going to be on you. I'm going to do the best I can. I can only provide you the information. I can provide you there. But what I found out is that it's going to take you to be able to do the action. I show you everything there. I've told people how to make money off of government bonds. I've told people how to make money off of corrupt governments without being corrupt. I've told people how to then make these Telegram groups, Discord groups, YouTube, Facebook, how to do physical products like growing crops, how to make those crops into cosmetics, how to then make money off of people trying to buy a house and sell a house. I've done all of these things. It's going to be up to them and you to be able to do the actions necessary. You have to imagine yourself as that person already in the future and do it right now. All right. I'll catch you guys on the next one.